In a small, dusty village in rural Malawi, where the sun beat down hard and nights fell quiet and dark, a boy named Chikondi was born into a life most would call hopeless. His family lived in a mud brick house with a tin roof that rattled every time the wind blew. Water had to be fetched from a distant well. Food was scarce during the dry season, and when the sun went down, so did any trace of light. But Chikondi was not like other children. From a young age, he asked questions that made adults pause. Why can't we have lights at night? Why do we wait for the rains to hope for power? What if the wind could help us? His mother, Moi, would smile and say, "Your mind is strong, Chikondi. One day, it will carry you farther than your feet ever could." Chikondi's school was a one-room building with a leaky roof and no electricity. Still, he studied by candlelight, often staying up after his siblings had gone to sleep. Drawing sketches in the dirt with a stick. He had no textbooks, only a few pages torn from an old science book the teacher once brought. One day, Chikondi saw a picture in that book that changed everything. A wind turbine standing tall on a hill, its blades turning gracefully. It said, "Wind energy can create electricity. Electricity from wind." That night, Chikondi could barely sleep. The winds that howled through his village every evening could be more than just noise, they could be power. The dream takes shape. Chikondi scavenged scrap metal from the local dump, took apart broken radios, bicycle parts, and old plastic containers. He studied how motors worked by watching mechanics in the village and asking questions that sometimes annoyed, but often intrigued. He made a makeshift library from pages he collected, some from old newspapers, others given to him by a kind teacher who noticed his obsession. He taught himself the principles of voltage, current, and resistance with charcoal drawings and trial-and-error experiments that occasionally gave him a Years passed. Chikondi was now 15. He had failed many times, burned wires, broken blades, and once even started a small fire that nearly cost him his mother's trust. But he never gave up. And then, one windy afternoon, standing on a hill near his home, he planted a tall wooden pole with blades, made from flattened PVC pipes, connected to a dynamo he had reassembled from an old bicycle light. It was crude, noisy, and barely held together. But it worked. The blades turned, the dynamo spun, and a tiny bulb flickered to life. Chikondi cried, not because of the bulb, but because it was proof. The wind could change everything. Lighting up the village, word spread. Villagers came to see the boy's wind turbine. Some were skeptical, others laughed. But, a few especially, the children believed. With help from a local NGO that heard about the boy who caught the wind, Chikondi was given real tools, materials, and even a small grant to expand his work. He built more turbines, enough to power a few homes, charge phones, and light up the school. His village, once silent after dark, now glowed with light and the soft hum of fans. Children could study at night. Parents could work longer hours. A small health clinic could keep vaccines cold in a donated refrigerator. Chikondi became a symbol, not just of innovation, but of what belief in oneself could do, even in the harshest conditions. Years later, when asked what drove him, Chikondi said, "Poverty taught me to think. The wind gave me the power to act. But it was hope that made me believe I could change something." And he did.